Week 2, Day 4, Research Metrics. We're going to start by first talking about traditional advertising measures and metrics. There are many standards against which an ad is judged. Picking the right criteria is not always an easy task. So let's start with the two main measuring criteria for traditional advertising. The first one is simply, do they get it? Do the consumers get the ad that you present to them? Communication tests are done to see if a message is communicating something close to what is desired. Communication tests are usually done in a group setting with data coming from a combination of a questionnaire, like a survey, or a group discussion. The second main measuring criteria for traditional advertising is, do they remember it? So there are several ways to measure if a consumer or potential consumer remember your ad or remember your brand. So let's talk about those. One is thought listing. Message research that tries to identify specific thoughts generated by an ad is referred to as thought listing or cognitive response analysis. Here, the researcher is interested in the thoughts that a finished or near finished ad generates in the mind of the consumer. The next one is recall testing. This is one of the most common tests in advertising research. The basic ideal is that if the ad is working, it has to be remembered, and the ads best remembered are the ones most likely to work. They are not shown the ad again, but asked to recall the ad. So maybe you show a few ads to a group of people and then ask them to recall the ads. And so if your ad is one that's remembered, then this would fit for the recall testing, and it's perceived that it will work. The next type of test that fit in this category is recognition tests. So basically, if shown something from the ad, will they recognize it? So if you show them a bunch of TV ads and then you show them something from the ad, will they recognize that it's from the ad? Another one is implicit memory tests. These do not refer back to the ad per se, but rather try to get memory through words and fragments of words. Participants do not know that the researcher is trying to get them to recall something. It is done implicitly. So you might have, let's just say, a sentence with some words missing, and you're asked to fill in the blanks. And this sentence has to do with the ad, but you don't really know that, and you don't know what they're looking for. So this means it's implicit. It's not conscious that you're remembering it. Other measuring criteria for traditional advertising is knowledge. Some ads are judged effective if they create knowledge about the brands. Just that simple. Attitude change. Attitude suggests where a brand stands in the consumer's mind. Advertisers may view attitude change as a key and common sense dimension for assessing advertising effectiveness. Feelings and emotions. Does a message ring true with the consumer? What kind of feelings are invoked from watching the ad or viewing the ad? Physiological changes detects how consumers react to messages based on physical responses. So at this point, PT scans are done of the brain while the potential consumer is watching the ad or viewing the ad. The ideal is to see what part of the brain lights up after exposure to the ad. And then you have behavioral intent. This is what consumers say they intend to do. This measure is often taken right after people are exposed to an ad. So basically, do they intend to buy the product? What is their behavior in regards to the brand after seeing the advertisement? Okay, so this covers the main two things that you're looking for when you're measuring traditional advertising, and then breaks it down to different types of tests that are done when you're looking for those things. So now let's talk about two main measuring criteria for social media advertising. The two main measuring criteria are numbers and engagement. Numbers, we'll start off with reach, and this is the number of people exposed to the message. And then frequency, the average number of times someone is exposed. So the first one is the number of people, and then the second one is the average number of times someone is exposed. Site stickiness is the ability of a site to draw repeat visitors and to keep people on the site. So researchers can tell like where you go once you click on one link, and where you go when you click on another link. Do you come back to the site or you don't come back to the site? And then you have click-throughs. This is the number of people exposed to an online ad or link who actually click on it. So you have the link in front of you, but are you actually clicking on it? Are you actually clicking on more information or buy now or things of that nature? Also, you have sales conversion. This is the number of people who click through who go on to purchase a product. And then the last one in numbers is view-throughs, the number of people who are exposed and do not click through, but who later visit the brand's website. So let's talk about the second one, which is engagement. So simply counting the number of interactions individuals have with a brand doesn't tell us much about the quality of these touch points. We need to know the degree of engagement people feel during and after the interaction, and how these exposures influence their feelings about the brand. So in this case, researchers are still developing ways to measure engagement. But some of the things that they look for is brand likability, brand image, awareness, loyalty, affiliation, and things of that nature. So there's your summary on measuring and metrics in advertising, traditional advertising, and social media advertising.